Hello, welcome to part 2. I'm going to do question E, yeah? Surprise. Are you surprised by this source? Are you surprised by source E? By the way, all your answers are actually inside your compiled SBQ revision. I'm just going to help you go through my thought processes when I look at this. So E, yeah? Are you surprised by E? So what is E? From the official notes of meeting, Truman, Secretary of State Dean Acheson, and the other senior American politicians in 1950. So war just broke out. So during this time, the US want to hide all agendas and say that they were inside only to protect South Korea because the world needs to be free from communism, and that is in line with the US. I mean, not the US, with the UN agenda to contain communism. Okay? That is actually necessary to contain communism. So like what I said just now, this is actually inside the second part of the source, which says that indeed, yes, the US were in there to contain communism and protect South Korea based on the UN's guidelines, based on the UN's motion. Okay, so that's the main point. US wanted to contain, was involved in order to contain communism on the motion of the UN. So these are something the UN wanted to achieve as well, to protect the security and self-determination of South Korea from the north. So that's your main point, Okay, so are you surprised? I would say no, I'm not surprised, because this is in 1950, It's said by American President Truman himself. Of course, he would want to defend the US action in the area, right? Because you know it's 1950 and you know that North Korea has already invaded until Busan. So of course, to protect the UN interests and to protect South Korea from invasion, okay, and to contain communism, which is what the UN wants to achieve. So of course I'm not surprised, because my expectation of Truman is indeed that during this time frame he won't admit the US were wanting their own self-interest, but he will say to put US in a good light in order to get people to have a good impression of the US, okay, and to support his view in order that they will also fight to prevent communism from taking over Korea. Okay, so that's basically how you would answer this question. Okay, so if you want to see the full answer, you can look at the paper that you have that was given out to you. So moving on. So this is how you use contextual knowledge. I hope you understand already, right? Oh, sorry, because just repeat again, Okay, President Truman said this 1950 during the war period. So I would expect that Truman would want to defend US involvement in Korea, but he also needs the UN's help on the basis that he is protecting South Korea. The message is that he's protecting South Korea from communism so that he can get the UN to join in as well. Okay, to defend South Korea, to defend the self-determination of South Korea. That is why he made this thing. That is why I'm not surprised that he would say this. Okay, because 1950, So that is how you use your contextual knowledge. Now I'm going to go through the last question very quickly and see how you do it properly. The reason the US was involved was to resist the Soviet. Can you see? This was one of the factors, right? Resisting the Soviet Union. And all the other factors you already know already. So each source will contribute one of the factors. So you just need to see which one agrees that this is the factor and which one agrees that it's not. Disagrees that is the factor. Resisting Soviet Union. So A, was it to resist Soviet Union? Yes, communist forces have overrun. Okay, if you are faithful to our idea of establishing a peace and prosperous conditions, you must not fail to provide aid which is essential to Korea at this moment. So the reason why they are involved is again to protect against communism, to contain communism or resisting the Soviet Union. So yes, A agrees that the reason is to resist against the Soviet Union. Okay, because the Soviet Union is doing what? You just write the opposite. What are they doing? They're spreading their sphere of influence. Sphere of influence, and sphere of influence is not inside here, is the main idea. Okay, they just say resisting communism, resist control of communists we have overrun. In other words, communists want to spread their sphere of influence, hence the US was involved in order that they can curb this, okay, to resist the Soviet Union. Okay, B, of course, B is not, B disagrees, because B says that the US was involved not to resist Soviet Union but because of their own self-interest. So quite straightforward. Okay, then you just explain the whole thing. How about C? C again, was the US involved to resist communism? No, here it says that the US was involved because the Soviets, same as the previous, source A, wanted to. Sorry. This is agree, because this one says that the Soviet Unions are the aggressors wanting to spread their sphere of influence. So the US must be involved in order to resist it. Okay, D is the same thing. It portrays Soviet Union in a bad light, that they are fighting a horrible war. They are the ones who caused the death and destruction of so many lives. So again, US involvement to resist the Soviet Union and to stop the carnage from happening. E is resist Soviet Union. Yes, because of the second paragraph it says this. But you can also say for their own self-interest if you use things from the first paragraph. So this is a dual source. Okay, I would suggest you don't use dual sources, but nonetheless you can use it as well. So this is how you do the part E question. Okay, you must use your own words. Remember your own words when you explain. Okay, thank you.